All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on iPathPilot to see how a whole team of AIs can plan the perfect road trip. And I mean a team. This isn't just one big, clunky AI doing everything. It's a crew of specialists, each with a very specific job. So let's go meet them, shall we?
So have you ever really thought about it? When you type something like, plan me a scenic drive from San Francisco to LA into an AI, what's actually going on under the hood? It's easy to imagine this one giant, all-knowing brain crunching the numbers. But the reality? Well, it's way cooler and honestly a lot more like how a team of actual people would tackle the problem.
And that is the big secret right there. It's not one giant brain. It's a specialist team. iPathPilot is what we call a multi-agent system. Just think of it like an all-star project team. You've got your planner, your money person, your creative. Everyone's a specialist. And it's that division of labor that makes the whole thing work so well, giving you a plan that's super detailed and, actually reliable.
Okay, so let's meet this AI dream team. We're going to break down the entire crew one by one and see exactly what each one brings to the table.
First up, we've got the prompt capture agent. I like to call this one the Gatekeeper. Its job sounds simple, but it is so critical. It literally just listens to your request and writes it down word for word. No changes, no interpretations. Why? Because that makes sure your original idea, your exact goal, is perfectly preserved for every other AI down the line. Next in line is the router agent, aka the Cartographer. Now, this is your logistics guru. It taps into Google's powerful Routes API to figure out the absolute best path. We're talking waypoints, real-time traffic, the whole shebang. This is the agent that's laser-focused on getting you from point A to point B in the smartest way possible.
So the Cartographer spits out a bunch of raw data, a JSON file, basically just code that you and I can't really read. That's where the planner agent comes in. Think of this one as the guidebook writer. Its whole job is to take that complex data and translate it into simple, human-friendly directions. Turn left here, stay on this highway for 50 miles. It makes the route actually usable for a person.
Okay, now the plan starts getting really smart. Meet the optimizer agent, or the efficiency expert. This agent scans the route that we've got so far and looks for ways to make it even better. Like, hey, could you skip some tolls here? Or what if you visited your stops in a different order to save time? It's giving you these practical, actionable tips to make your trip smoother, saving you time and maybe even some cash.
And this is where the magic really happens, the fun stuff. The POI Finder agent is your personal tour guide, and this thing is seriously clever. It doesn't just randomly suggest places. It looks back at your original request to figure out the vibe of your trip. Are you looking for history, good food, scenic views? Then, and only then, does it start searching for cool museums, parks, or killer restaurants that are actually on your route and fit your theme.
All right, let's talk about the practical stuff, money. Every trip has a budget, right? Well, that's where the cost calculator agent steps in, the accountant. It's going to give you a solid estimate of your fuel costs and even your trip's CO2 footprint. And what's really important here is that it's totally transparent. It shows you its work so you know exactly where those numbers are coming from. And last but definitely not least, we have the summarizer agent. This is the project manager of the whole operation. Its job is to take all the work from every other agent, the route, the directions, the money-saving tips, the cool spots to visit, the budget, and pull it all together into one final, easy-to-read summary. It's the one that delivers the finished product to you.
And there's your team, the full roster. From the gatekeeper just taking notes, all the way to the project manager handing you the finished plan. Each one has a very clear job and a specific thing it produces. It's that laser-focused specialization that makes this whole system just work. Okay, so now that we've met all the players, let's follow a single request from start to finish. We're going to see how it travels down this AI assembly line, getting smarter and more detailed with every single stop.
And as you can see, this whole thing is a pipeline. It flows in a very specific order for a reason. I mean, you can't suggest points of interest before you even know the route, right? Each agent does its job and then hands off the results to the next one, kind of like passing the baton in a relay race. It's a system designed so that nothing gets missed.
This brings us to a really important idea here, called context preservation. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Imagine a single file or a digital folder. The first agent puts your original request into it. The next agent adds the map data. The next one throws in the turn-by-turn directions. The folder just keeps getting richer and richer, So by the time it reaches the final agent, it has everything it needs from all the previous steps to do its job.
So that's what's happening on the back end. But how does all that awesome planning actually get from the computer to your screen? Let's take a look.
It really boils down to two different worlds working together. On one side, you've got the back end. That's the AI brains we've been talking about, doing all the heavy lifting. Then on the other side, you've got the front end. That's the pretty interface you actually see and interact with, the part that draws the map and displays the text on your phone or computer.
And here's a really cool part about how it feels to use it. Instead of just showing you a boring loading bar for 30 seconds, the system sends you live updates. So your screen might say, okay, the router is finding the best path. And then a few seconds later, now the planner is writing out your directions. You get to see the progress in real time, which is way more engaging than just waiting.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. Why do all this? Why build a team of 7 different AIs when you could just try to build one giant, super smart one to do everything?
Well, it really comes down to this one powerful idea. Planning a great road trip is a huge problem, with a ton of different parts. This whole approach is about breaking that massive problem down into smaller, bite-sized tasks, and then giving each task to a specialist that's built to do that one thing perfectly. And the payoff for doing it this way is massive. First, specialization. Every agent is an expert. Second, it's way more resilient. If your tour guide agent has a bug, you can just fix that one part without breaking the whole system. You can also optimize better, maybe use a small, fast AI for a simple task and a big, powerful one for a complex one. And finally, you just get clarity. The whole process is logical and way easier to understand, debug, and improve over time.
So, when you look at the big picture, that's what it is. 7 highly specialized AIs working together in perfect harmony, all for one single reason, to build your perfect trip. It's a really elegant way to combine specialized skills into one awesome result.
And that kind of leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If a team of AIs can figure out something as complex and human as planning the perfect road trip, what else could this specialist team approach solve? We're talking about everything from complex scientific research to managing global supply chains. The possibilities are, frankly, mind-boggling.